Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com here with a little bit of a rant video. I found a post on the subreddit for MTG Arena, and I have to agree with the author of this 301 ST Legion wrote, MTG Arena is hell for a Johnny. Now, many of you know I started Rogue Deck Builder for this very reason, to try to get people inspired away from the more spike culture, the more net deck culture, and inspire people to have a little bit of creativity when it comes to Magic the Gathering, because what I find the most fun and fascinating and just the best way to play Magic the Gathering is to express your creativity. There are so many cards out there. There are so many combos. And if you look at any meta, even modern, as diverse it is in this day and age, it still is just the tip of the iceberg of what could be in Magic the Gathering. And I think that's where Johnnies actually play a very pivotal role. I've had the one person I've looked up to more than anyone as far as a Magic the Gathering celebrity has been Conley Woods, because Conley Woods has had the courage and has had the success to run more of the off-the-beaten-path type decks, and has led some really good creative and innovative decks that have been very, very fun to pilot. I don't know how someone could pilot Jund for 3 years in a row, for example, and not get so bored of these kind of cookie-cutter good stuff type decks. So this, I'm going to just read the post and I'll tell you where I agree with it. If I disagree anywhere, I think I do disagree slightly, because my experience with Arena has been very positive. But then again, I'm one of those person who just likes to prove people wrong, or challenge accepted type person. And I think I've had quite the success with brewing my own type of decks. I just won another 7 wins, just barely, with the Ronus's Monument, which I still have never seen another person build a similar deck to that as I have. Kind of the all-in Vizier of the Menagerie Ronus's Monument combo. You can check it out on my channel. But anyway, let's just get to the post here. I know it's been touched on a lot, but I feel like it bears repeating. As it stands, Magic the Gathering Arena is a terrible platform for player creativity. The game is fine for spikes and can be okay for Timmy. But if you are a Johnny, you are in for a bad time. It's sad, because my favorite thing to do was to build super janky decks and just sail for Magic Christmas Land. It never mattered how often I got there, because the one time that janky deck did its job was worth all the times it didn't. But as I'm sure everyone else is aware, this economy as it is just slams the door on creativity, then hunts it down and kills its family and burns its house down. And, well, you get the idea. If you build that janky deck, then your chance of winning go down, so the rate you accrue cards goes down, and your ability to brew goes down in a vicious cycle. So to any fellow Johnnies out there who haven't got a key yet, or who are waiting until launch, unless there are fairly major changes to the economy, I can only offer you one piece of advice. Stay away from MTGA, the Magic the Gathering Arena. There are better platforms to use as a Johnny. Edit here says, feel like I should clarify some things. I feel the true thing that kills player agency is not the meta, nor the types of ways a player can accrue rewards. Hell, it's not even the rate a player gains wildcards, which is a hotly debated topic. My problem is that if you wanted to playtest a card, you don't have... you have to invest a wildcard and then later decide that it would be better suited as something else, then you have no way of reclaiming that investment. On other platforms such as MTGO, Paper Magic, or Hearthstone, the cards still have some value either via dust or trading, or just being used for queue, but in Arena, they are a true sunk cost. All right, so let's just go by this point by point. I agree a lot with this author about, I've actually felt this in Magic the Gathering Arena. I am stuck with my 2 decks that I built, Catcher's Monument and Ronus's Monument. I'm actually working, and we'll get to that point coming up here, on a Ramming Up Red, just because of how quick the author is spot on. If you want more rewards, if you want to build those decks in the future, then you need to grind out the cards to do so. And to grind out the cards to do so, well, not only do you need to be playing a Tier 1 deck, you need to be playing a Tier 1 deck that is fast, that you can just dish off wins as quickly as possible. That is why I would say about 40% of the meta is Ramming Up Red. That's about 4 out of every 10 games definitely is people playing Ramming Up Red on MTG Arena. And it's you know, I've been able to farm those decks quite efficiently with Catcher's Monument and the Ronus' Monument, which I both feel have a very good matchup against it. But however, it doesn't change the fact that that's what you're going to be playing, either playing it or playing against it a lot. And for a Johnny player, for someone that likes to express creativity and see other people's ideas, that just gets tiresome to play against the same deck over and over and over again. Now, one thing that is not said herein, but a little bit implied in this post, is Johnnies a lot of times have access to cards that are very, very cheap. So let's look at a card that I've been toying around with in Brawl, that I've been putting in a lot of Brawl decks with combos, which is the, I can't think what it's called. It's the, not the Monument. I'm stuck on Monument. It's the tap to reveal the top card of your library, and then you can cast it until end of turn. If you have 3 brick counters on it, then you can cast for free. I've been pairing with a lot of like Paradox Engine type decks, and typically on MTGO, those type of cards are insanely inexpensive as no one's playing them, so you can actually get into these more Johnny type cards, these magical Christmas land cards, for a fraction of the price that is to buy a tier 1 deck. However, in MTG Arena, all cards are created equal based upon their rarity. So it's the exact same cost to get what's a crappy mythic these days, to get that Ixalan draw 7 cards mythic as it is to get a Scarab God. I mean, they're the exact same cost when it comes down to it. So it's incentivizing people to build the Scarab God type decks, or these, everyone can get a Karn into Fairy, no problem. And so it leads to even more of this, like what I like to call inbred meta, where not only is everything the same deck, but it's the most cost efficient deck to go the same route. So that is going to be a problem I see forward in the MTGA kind of competitive, but just the constructed aspect of play. And right here, the author of this is also very correct. It is a vicious cycle of, if you're trying to play lots of different decks, that means you have to spend lots of different wild cards on cards that can't then go into another deck, because, usually if you're creating a deck, you want a different way of attacking the meta. And so therefore and then you have a bad experience, you lose coins in these tournaments, or you don't get the rewards as quickly, and rinse and repeat. So I 100% am on board that there needs to be something done. And I actually think I have the solution for how to bring Johnnies into Magic the Gathering Arena. In fact, that's the title of the video, and I'm going to show you a little bit of how to do that. And I'm glad that MTG Arena is at least embracing dailies and achievements and like reasons to play the game. It's one of the most sad things about Magic the Gathering Online is they're still stuck in this. I mean, games have had rewards and achievements forever. I mean, at least the past 10 years, but MTGO still doesn't have a good chat client, for example. So, I mean, there's a lot of room to grow for both Arena and MTGO, but I'm glad that MTG Arena even has dailies to do so. However, good God, who did they put in charge of the creativity for these, what they call quests, or the dailies, or the achievements? These are just awful. So here in front of you, I brought up the guides of all of the known quests. Some of these have been changed. This was April 28th. I actually know there is some that I've seen some that are 700 gold rewards, I believe. If I'm correct, I've had some before that was like attack with 40 creatures a turn or something like that. So anyway, there is more quest lists than this, but look at how bloody boring and how these don't lead to creativity or innovation. It just leads to playing a different deck for a couple games is all, to get these little quest rewards. Once they're done, you rinse and repeat. It is absolutely, who in their right mind came up with these? Do they actually, can they declare they have a creative bone in their body? Nissa's campaign, play 20 lands? Are you kidding me? That's easy to do over the course of even ramming up red. Play 6 lands for 4 different games in a row. You've got your daily 500 gold. You don't have to win, I believe, to just do this. You just have to play 20 lands. Snooze fest. Creature commander, cast 20 creature spells. Fatal push, kill 20 of your opponent's creatures. Azorius Justice, win 2 games with a white-blue deck, and then you can go all those pairs all the way down. Cast 15 creature spells. Play 12 lands. Cast 15 white or blue spells. This doesn't help people be creative. It is so terrible. And yes, I know it's beta. Yes, I know maybe they could go somewhere with this, but we have other games in the past that we can get inspiration from of how that and we'll show you the game that I play right now called Dota 2. Dota 2 always comes out with what they call these compendiums, and they also have now I can't remember what it's called. You can actually purchase it. I'm out of sorts today. But it'll give you daily or weekly hero challenges. And so with the particular hero, there will be different things you have to do. And a lot of the times it's more playing the hero outside the box, not of its cookie cutter way. If you want to get these achievements that then give you rewards that you can then spend on in-game purchases. In Dota's case, nothing affects the gameplay, but you can still get aesthetic stuff. So I'll show you my account, for example, and show you exactly what I mean by this. And again, a lot of times they force you outside your comfort zone to play characters or play styles that you necessarily wouldn't play. And it sparks a lot of creativity and a lot of the blah of even Dota has sometimes a really, really strict meta of what heroes are picked to face against other heroes. And it can get it can get very stale. So this is one thing they do to make it not so stale. So that pretty much is the overview of what we've got going on MTG Arena. I think this post is definitely spot on. If you're a Johnny, this is probably not the best route to go. Again, however, I have found success in those I told you so or challenge accepted type moments of I'm not going to play Ramanup, I'm going to find a way to beat Ramanup. And yes, that was fulfilling for a little bit, but now it's even I have kind of swapped over to building Ramanup and just grinding the Ramanup just because of how fast that deck is at grinding out the 7 wins on the constructed event. So anyway, here is my idea of a few little things that we can come up with, and maybe as a community we can do MTG Arena solid. Maybe I'll look in the comment section and maybe we'll give something out to the people with the most creative responses. But let me pull up, I've just made 3 of them real quickly before I made this video, of little achievements. And achievements in most games are either done on dailies, weeklies, or throughout the course of a time. So I think that with every set released, Wizards should release a bunch of achievements with iconic cards that you can do. So here's a good one that also has to be purchased by buying it. Oh, no, this one isn't yet. So this is a funny one that I thought. So, of course, doing something outside the box. So we all know that there is a Wizards deck out there. It is a blue-red Wizards deck using there is one of the Afflict 2/1 Prowess cards. Can't remember what that card, one of the Nagas. The Soulscar Mage is in the deck. And then they have the 1/2, if you have the sorcery, 2 sorceries in your graveyard, it gets +1/0 haste. And they have the Wizard that gives everything basically prowess for every spell you cast. And so there is a legit Wizard deck out there. So instead of just saying cast Wizards Lightning or control Wizards, which is a snooze fest, force people to play outside the box. So here is the achievement. Roses are red, violets are blue, but for many of Wizards, not always true. So, but for many of Wizards, maybe I should have reworded that differently, but you get the point. Anyway, I did these very, very quickly when I was getting this video ready. So the actual achievement is cast Wizard's Lightning with the reduced cost while controlling a non-blue, non-red wizard. So one that comes right off the bat is like Resilient Kenra. So someone could actually have to build like a red, green wizard deck, or just have some other wizard. I know there's some wizards in black. I think there was some wizards in white. I'm not quite sure on that because there was a lot of knights and clerics in this particular set. But if you, isn't the God Pharaoh's Faithful a wizard? I think it is, the 0/4. Whenever you cast a black, red, or blue spell, you gain a life. So there's a way to get that achievement. And you can get 1,000 coins just by entering a competitive event. I think they'd have to make the achievement that way. And actually casting Wizard's Lightning with the reduced cost while controlling a non-blue, non-red wizard. And there'd be tons of these achievements and allow people to get these alternate rewards without having to just do the ramming up, grind the 7 wins nonsense that I think people are going to have to gravitate towards. Another one that, we'll pull up another one here. So this one is particularly for a card. This one you see is the Firesong and Sunspeaker. And this one says, We love the smell of napalm in the morning. It's a phrase that's been used before in gaming culture. I don't know what movie it actually comes from, but StarCraft did that was one of the Firebat used to say that. But anyway, gain 50 life in a game with Fire Song and Sunspeaker. So this means you're going to have to gain a life usually through, I think you'd make it so it can't be through its own life link by spells. Fire Song and Sunspeaker gives spells life link, and therefore you'd have to gain 50 life in one turn by dishing off enough damage that actually gains life with Fire Song and Sunspeaker. Boom, right there. I mean, this would actually be something that'd be achievable through like Brawl or other ways that they could put on the MTG Arena, and you get 500 coins by doing that achievement. Well, let's just not even worry about the one game. How about building up towards a particular achievement, like a long-term one? Here, can you smell what the hoofs are cooking? Over the course of multiple games, deal 1,000 damage / gain 1,000 life with Fire Song and Sunspeaker. So you have to deal 1,000 and gain 1,000 life. And there'd be a little ticker for that. And again, you can see this in the Dota. Like Dota has a lot of these type of things. You don't get it until, I mean, you really have to work up for these. And then once you finally do them, then you get a lot of these equivalent to coins that you can spend for in-game purchases. So this would be a great one. Oh, cool. I bought that Fire Song and Sunspeaker. What the hell is it going to do? Rot in my collection? I normally wouldn't use it. Well, here's a good way to get 2,500 coins is by deal the 1,000 damage or gain 1,000 life with Fire Song and Sunspeaker. So this is just a tip of the iceberg. I've thought about a lot of different things, like over the course of many games, create 1,000 Saproling tokens, or put a bunch of +1/+1 counters on control 20 different creatures with a +1/+1 counter on it, or get a Walking Ballista up to each card could have like this certain achievement that then it gives coins. And maybe if they make enough of these, it wouldn't be so dramatic, like 2,500 coins. But this would be a good way to promote. I know the only way you can get it on MTG Arena at the moment, Fire Song and Sunspeaker, is by purchasing the equivalent of a box, or is it 60 packs or 90 packs or whatever you have to purchase to get a Fire Song and Sunspeaker from. We'll look it up here in a second. So again, there would be a lot of things that they could do with this. They'd have like the starting decks that you could build up achievements with every one of the starting decks. So let's just pull up Arena here and see what we have to work with and how they could get people interested. Beyond, that's Dota. Let's pull up Arena. We'll get to Dota here in a second. So again, here we have the decks you start out with, like the Legion of Dust, for example. This one could be, I don't know, create a bunch of 1/1 vampires, could be a bunch of token vampires, get enough lifelink out of vampires. There could definitely be, and of course in the comment section, I'm definitely looking forward to your responses of what you could do for each one of these decks and have like a little progress with this particular deck. So we could go over to some of these more decks that no one plays. Like some of them that I rarely see, the Celestia Pride. What are some of the earlier? Dimir Manipulation. This one I didn't see a lot of. There was when the arena was newer, I saw a lot of the Sun Empire. I saw a lot of Legion of Dusk, and did see a lot of Merfolk. But I mean, they could make achievements for the cats. They could make achievements for the Explorer, the Green-Black Explorer. Whatever happened to that deck? I think I deleted it. And Golgari Explorer. And all of these could have, like, here's a good one you could have for the Tetzimok the Primal Death is, kill X amount of creatures with Tetzimok Primal Death. And that could give you achievement that then you could cash for coins and then spend that towards something else. I think that would inspire a lot of people's innovation. It actually would work for the Timmys. I think Timmys are actually underrepresented as well in Spike. This is really going to turn into a Spike. Like, Timmys are going to enjoy it just because it can be a casual play, especially if you're not higher on the rank when they actually do pair you up with people you should be ranked against. I'm sure Timmys can find success. But these little achievements would be like catnip to Timmys and Johnnies alike. Spikes can definitely use them as well. But let's just pull up Dota here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So Dota's got this compendium right now. The Battle Pass is what it's called. And it has a bunch of achievements. So once you get achievements, or once you get these little dust or whatever that gives you levels, you can redeem all of these sort of effects. Or let's turn the music down a little bit here. Man, that's pretty loud. Or they have also these, what we call achievements. And this one's actually been quite lackluster compared to other companions of the past. Usually they've had a lot of what they used to call paths that you would take with either a strength hero, an agility hero, or an intelligent hero. And then you'd have to do, there'd be character-specific achievements you'd have to do, and then there'd be just intelligent or strength or agility-specific things you'd have to do as well. So right now, there still is some achievements. These ones are actually, yeah, these ones are boring. I think there is, oh, it's called Cavern. So this is what it starts out with. So you have to start out with winning a game with one of these characters, and then after that, you clear these caves, and it will bring you on to different things you have to do. I haven't done much with Dota. I haven't played Dota very much lately after this companion is coming out. But yeah, this is a bad example. I wish I could go to a companion of the past, and it would be like, for example, it would like be a specific character like Silencer. It would be like silence characters for over 50 seconds in one game, or lock down an opponent or lock down the same character for or 10 stuns in one game, or kill a particular character over 10 times in one game. And even though those are pretty generic, there would be some very specific ones, like you'd have to get a specific item that sometimes wouldn't be used that often with a character. So it'd make you play that character out of your comfort zone. And that's what I really, really like about these sort of achievements, because, I mean, it doesn't have to affect the gameplay. You can choose not to do them, and you can choose to do them to get like this alternative reward. In Dota, you eventually will get items just by winning enough games or just by playing enough games. So of course, the person that actually wins a lot is going to be rewarded more than the person that doesn't. However, people that like to experience the game differently have different ways to do so. So Magic Arena can definitely find inspiration from these different games that already exist and try to give us these reasons to play outside the box. So that's my challenge for all of my subscribers. In the comment section, just give me some achievements you'd like to see. Be as creative as possible. Pick a card that is underrepresented, or a pet card of yours, or something you've tried to get, some magical Christmas land scenario, and make an achievement. Make up a little icon and send it to me. You can just send it to or just we'll figure out a place you can post it, and we'll post it up on the website, and then we'll tag Magic the Gathering, especially the Arena creators, and say, hey, this is what could definitely get your game going. I know it's still beta, maybe you have these planned, but as it stands, as this Reddit post suggests, MTG Arena's economy is in very, very bad shape for Johnnies, and Johnnies is a very significant portion of people that play Magic the Gathering. I know people like to obsess about the spikes, like to obsess about even the Timmys, but oftentimes the Johnnies get kind of thrown under the rug or underrepresented as they should. I mean, just look at the massive popularity of Saffron Olive. I think that shows you right there how many Johnnies there are out there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and again, put those in the comment section, or send me a achievement, and we'll compile them all together and see if we can have some really fun, creative experience while doing so. It's been Kevin with RogueDeckbuilder.com. Thanks for watching.